Ever wondered what happens after a catastrophic event like an air crash? Let's take a recent example of the US Osprey aircraft crash off the coast of Japan. The incident in question involved a US Osprey, a unique military aircraft known for its ability to take off and land like a helicopter but fly like a plane. This blending of capabilities makes it a versatile asset in various operations, but it also presents its own set of challenges and risks. In the unfortunate event that took place, the Osprey was operating off the coast of Japan, a location known for its challenging weather conditions and demanding maritime operations. The circumstances surrounding the crash remain unclear, but what we do know is that the aircraft crashed into the sea, resulting in the tragic death of all 8 crew members on board. The immediate aftermath of the crash was a flurry of activity. Rescue efforts were swiftly launched in a desperate search for survivors. Maritime forces from both the United States and Japan were involved in the search, combing the crash site and surrounding waters in a race against time. Despite their best efforts, the harsh reality soon set in. The crew, a group of dedicated servicemen, had not survived the crash. The loss of any life in such circumstances is deeply felt, not just by their families and comrades, but also by the wider community. The 8 crew members had devoted their lives to service, and their tragic loss serves as a stark reminder of the risks taken by those who choose to serve. This tragic event sets in motion a complex and thorough investigation process to find out what went wrong. The aim is not only to provide answers for the grieving families, but also to learn from this unfortunate incident and prevent similar occurrences in the future. As we delve deeper into the investigation in the upcoming scenes, we'll uncover the painstaking process of piecing together the puzzle of what led to this tragic accident. Once the immediate rescue operations end, the crash investigation begins. But who is responsible for this? Let's delve into the fascinating world of air crash investigations, where the search for truth begins amidst the wreckage. The primary responsibility of investigating aviation accidents in the United States falls on the shoulders of the National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB. Established in 1967, the NTSB is an independent federal agency dedicated to promoting aviation safety. However, when a crash occurs outside the US, the investigative authority lies with the nation where the accident took place, with the NTSB often playing a supporting role due to the global nature of aviation. The investigation process is meticulous and exhaustive. Investigators arrive at the scene as soon as possible, often within hours of the accident. They start by documenting the crash site, capturing every detail in photographs and notes. Every piece of debris, no matter how small, is potentially a crucial piece of evidence. The scene is often compared to a jigsaw puzzle, with investigators needing to put the pieces back together to understand what led to the crash. The team consists of specialists in various fields, from metallurgy to meteorology, from avionics to human factors. Each expert looks at the crash from a different angle, piecing together the sequence of events that led to the disaster. In parallel, the investigators also delve into the history of the aircraft and its crew. They review maintenance records, flight data, and any relevant information that might shed light on the cause of the crash. They also conduct interviews with witnesses, survivors, and anyone else who may have information relevant to the investigation. Throughout this process, the investigators work closely with other international aviation bodies, such as the International Civil Aviation Organization and its counterparts in other nations. This cooperation ensures a thorough, unbiased investigation and aids in the sharing of critical safety information worldwide. The investigation team's goal is to determine the cause of the crash and make recommendations to prevent similar incidents in the future. The ultimate aim is not to lay blame, but to learn from each tragedy, turning the lessons of the past into the safety measures of the future. You might have heard about the black box in air crash investigations, but what is it exactly? The black box, despite its name, is usually painted bright orange or red to aid visibility in the wreckage. It's a virtually indestructible device designed to survive the most catastrophic of accidents, and it plays a pivotal role in any air crash investigation. The black box is composed of 2 components: the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. The cockpit voice recorder, as the name suggests, records the conversations and other audible signals in the cockpit. This includes the dialogue between the pilots, any radio transmissions, and even the sounds of switches being flipped or alarms sounding. It provides investigators with a real-time audio play-by-play of the flight's final moments. The other key component of the black box, the flight data recorder, is like the airplane's diary, dutifully noting down a wealth of information. It records over 2,000 parameters, including altitude, airspeed, heading, and the positions of switches and controls. This meticulous data collection can help investigators recreate a detailed picture of the aircraft's performance and behavior in the lead up to the crash. Retrieving the black box isn't always straightforward. It can be buried under tons of wreckage, submerged in water, or even scattered over a wide area. Once found, it's sent to a specialized laboratory where trained experts meticulously extract and analyze the data. This process can take weeks or even months, depending on the condition of the recorders. This analysis can provide investigators with crucial insights into the aircraft's final moments. It can answer questions like, was there a mechanical failure? Did the pilots make a mistake? Or was there a sudden, unforeseeable event that led to the crash? Recovering and analyzing the data from the black box is a key step in unraveling the mystery of what caused the crash. Scene script. Once all the evidence is gathered, what happens next? The investigation now transitions into the phase of in-depth analysis. This is where the investigators put on their detective hats, sifting through the collected data to piece together the puzzle of what exactly led to the crash. The black box data plays a pivotal role in this process. It's like a time machine that allows investigators to travel back and witness the aircraft's final moments. From the patterns of engine performance to the sequence of alarms, every single detail is scrutinized. Investigators also pay close attention to the cockpit voice recordings, as they can provide valuable insights into the crew's actions and reactions in the face of the unfolding crisis. Alongside the black box data, the wreckage itself tells a story. Each twist of metal, each burn mark is like a silent witness, holding clues to the violent forces that brought the aircraft down. By studying the wreckage, investigators can deduce the angle of impact, the velocity of the crash, and even the sequence of events during the crash. But the analysis doesn't stop there. The aircraft's maintenance history is also brought under the microscope. Was there a mechanical fault that was overlooked? Were all safety regulations adhered to? These questions help investigators assess if human error on the ground played a part in the tragedy. The crew's training and experience are another area of focus. Did they respond appropriately to the emergency? Were they adequately trained to handle such a situation? The answers to these questions can help improve training programs and prevent future accidents. Finally, the weather conditions at the time of the crash are also evaluated. Weather can be a formidable adversary for even the most experienced of pilots, and understanding its role in the crash can lead to better forecasting and flight planning. The analysis can take months or even years, but it's a crucial process to understand the cause of the crash. As painstaking as this process might be, it's a necessary step in ensuring the safety of future flights and preventing similar tragedies from happening again. After a thorough investigation and analysis, the findings are compiled into a final report. But what's in this report? The final report is a comprehensive document that reveals the probable cause of the crash. It's an amalgamation of all the evidence collected, the analysis of the black box data, and the conclusions drawn from the investigation. The report's objective is to provide an unbiased, factual account of the events leading up to the crash. The probable cause is generally the most anticipated part of the report. It answers the question that's been lingering since the incident. Why did this happen? In the case of the unfortunate crash off the coast of Japan, the probable cause was determined to be a combination of mechanical failure and adverse weather conditions. The report also outlines contributing factors. These are elements that, while not the primary cause, played a part in the chain of events leading to the crash. In this incident, contributing factors included a delayed response to the initial mechanical failure and suboptimal communication between the crew members in the crucial moments before the crash. Next, the report includes safety recommendations. These are lessons learned from the incident and crucial steps that need to be taken to prevent similar occurrences in the future. Recommendations might include implementing more rigorous maintenance checks, enhancing pilot training programs, or even redesigning certain aircraft components. Lastly, the report includes appendices that detail the methodology of the investigation, the credentials of the investigators, and the sources of information used in the report. This is to ensure transparency and reliability of the findings. Remember, the purpose of this report is not to point fingers or assign blame. It's about learning from these unfortunate events. It's about making necessary changes to procedures, practices, and even aircraft designs to enhance the safety of air travel. The ultimate goal of this intensive process is not to assign blame, but to learn from the tragedy and prevent similar incidents from happening in the future.